I am going to discuss the topic called the simplified IoT architecture layers 2 and 3. In the previous session we discussed layer 1, which covers most of the the edge points, lower bottom layers, which are dedicated to the acquire the data at the surroundings. Huge data may be collected from them. So once it collected to, then it will pass on to the layer 2, the above layer, that is called middle layer of this simplified IoT standard architecture. So that is a communication network, communication protocol. So this is part of the network architecture and design model 1, session 7, and is the Internet of Things and application for the 7th semester as a part of the computer science and engineering course. So let me continue the presentation milestones of this session. Simplified architecture, IoT architecture, we have seen in depth in the previous session, that is when we covered layer 1. So further, that layer 2 communication network layer, layer sub layers that we are going to be discuss, sub layers of this architecture. The sub layers going to be concentrate on more data transmission rate, that what is the range of the data transmit versus throughput. That is actually that four technologies have selected for the studying of this wireless home area network to wireless local area network. So initially they are considering the home area network, then added wireless. Initially they are considered local area network, then added wireless. So wire to wireless. So there is a last mile technology in terms of range and versus cost, power, consumption, the bandwidth spending, right? So having those parameters, what are all the last mile technologies available in the industry, and people going to be import them and design the architecture for the IoT applications. So topologies we are going to see. So this last mile technologies, with help of them communication will to be established. So those IoT things may be in the proper topology, maybe star topology or mesh topology or various topology they are adopted. So similarly you can see the wired protocols follow some topology. Same topology can be extend. So that is observation here, right? Access network layer, that is a sub layer of this communication network layer, and gateway and backhaul sub layer, and network transport sub layer, and the management sub layer, IoT management sub layers. So the layer 3 also going to be discussed here, that is a application and analytical layer, that is a top layer, that is going to be very close to that or it hosts that cloud center or the data center. So that is going to be, so that data center, what are the properties or what are the attributes they are going to be expressed there. Analytics is most important there, analytics, and the analytics and various other parameters, the analytics and control applications, and the data versus network analytics. So network data versus network analytics also important things here. So we need to be analyze that networks through along with the data. So data analytics versus business benefits. So that is most important point, because business fruitfulness is it going to evolve and it going to be pursue the most of the technology improvement, technology usage, right? So those are the frontier in the most of the industry. So they are going to be beneficiary, then going to be mass production, and hence that technology become popular. So these three concepts we are going to be discussing in layer 3 as a part of that, and also the various other technology we are going to be discussed in the detail, that is. So that is going to be discussed here in the subsequent this one we are going to be discussing here. So communication network, slab, that is a network sublayer, access layer. So range versus throughput, that is a home area network with the wireless home area network. Similar achievable distance do not matter here. Similar achievable distance do not matter here. In other words, it is not the important thing. Similar protocol and characteristics. The protocol may be same or have a same character. It doesn't mean that it achieve for the more distance and so on. That so distance may not be a matter at all. So they uses the same frame size. Frame size may be same. So transmit power also same. Antenna gain as a wired. Antenna is gained as a wire. So wired antenna. So each protocol employs specific frame format. Protocol here exercise the format is a specific, that is a local format, or they have their own format. So transmission technology or specific frequency also. So transmission may be peak, frequency may be specific, that hourly basis or daily basis or minute wise or monthly wise, right? So that is also specific for the particular protocol. Similar protocols but additional differences that have. So these protocols are similar but they have additional differences. So let we see in that range. So the plot we can going to be plot in the subsequent slide. So before preliminary of that, we have x-axis is a uplink range throughput, and y-axis, that is a data rate, transmission rate in terms of megabits per second. So here going to be exercise some technology, right? So that transmission technology may be that 802.11 and Zigbee or maybe BLE, Bluetooth low enable, so kind of things. So ranges versus throughput for WHA into WLAN. So the example plots, so that is here. So uplink is here and data rate will be there. So data rate. So here we have 11N, that is a 0.11 N protocol as we seen in the previous slide. So that 4x4 window, 2x2, and that is 1x1 sensor for the 4 decibels per minute. That is so here we have 4 technology as we see. So 4 technology going to be testing here. So initially we can see is that what is that triangular shape, that Zigbee. So Zigbee have high data transfer rate. So high data transfer rate, and afterwards as the time increases, as the distance increases, so that it is going to be fall, suddenly fall, right? So that slope will become 0. Similarly, in the same sense, we have need to be see that one more called Bluetooth enable. So Bluetooth enable started here, and so that degraded the slope is drastically reduced, and at the point it will reach, right, only in this span of time that Bluetooth enable to transfer, right? So I hope you followed. That is this is called what is that, Zigbee, and this is a Bluetooth, right? So 4 technology, 4 curves are here. So similarly this this will going to be 0.11 N NRV, so 0.11, and the last one is a 0.11 AH. So here see that that is what we see, that Bluetooth enable started here more than one that data rate and falling down, right? And here you can see that what is that the 0.11 AH, IEEE 802.11 AH will be comments here, and it will be fall, right? So it have moderable degradation of the slopes, right? Whereas other one we have that what is that round circle, that is 0.11, 0.11 huge data rate we have. So it we have but sudden falling, but the good observation of the slope gradually become degraded, so that will be happen in case of 0.11 AH, that is 802.11 AH protocol. So slope of throughput degrade as the distance increases. So here in the case of BLE, in the case of Zigbee, so it is their slope, that is a highest slope will be there, and constant will be there. So suddenly at one point, that is at 10 the distance, distance meter, it suddenly drops to 0, Mr. Distance to 0. So the distance increase varies vastly from one technology to another, right? So this is not as Zigbee, the other one that what we call these BLE, right? So not only this 0.11H. So that we observe the difference in limits amounts the data throughput. So it limits the data in the throughput, that is right. So here we can see that that each technology can achieve as a distance, as the distance from sensor to receiver increases. So each technology have its own the parameters or performance level as the distance increases. So receiver distance increases, so the performance will be degraded here. In terms of the slopes, we can observe. So you can observe that Zigbee, you can observe that BLE, you can observe that what is that 802.11 AH. So that is have a very the good report here. So that will be as the distance increases, slowly decreases that, but not other compared to Zigbee, compared to other technology called Zigbee and what is it, circle, that is 0.11 AH, and also what is that BLE, right? So that observation we observed, the common last mile technology, we have seen that 4 technology. So that is a Zigbee, 0.11 AH and the BLE. Here tempted to choose a technology with the longest range, highest throughput. Which technology yields the transmits the highest range data, though increase the receiver endpoints the distance, right? So they need a good throughput also, long distance should be covered. So however, cost of the technology may be no matter, that your whatever the cost may be here, people can able to afford. In terms of range versus cost, power consumption and bandwidth, so that parameters also going to be considered here. So the range will be less than meter, less than 1 kilometer, more than 1 kilometer. So that we put it in a plot, so the cost will be increases. So marginal cost at the beginning connection include the access and NIC, right? So this is a y x-axis will be a cost of the that protocol. So we have a power consumption more than 500 milliamperes, less than, and less than 50 milliamperes power, and they made a categories. These categories we can use in this plot. So we have a bandwidth less than 100 kbps, small circle, and less than 1 mbps, some bigger circle shaded, and 100 mbps, that is more than this one, that is a not a circle, ellipse, and greater than 10 mbps is a bigger ellipse, shaded ellipse, that is right. So these symbols we are going to be using this plot here. So in terms of the range and versus of the cost, power consumption and bandwidth, all the parameters going to be considered here to select the common last mile technology for the communication. So here at the beginning you can see that, so there is a radio frequency, indoor radio frequency. This indicates the indoor radio frequency, that is less than 10 meters, less than 10 meters we can have. So that is a less than 10 meters radio frequency, and have less than 50 milliamperes power consumption, less than 50 milliamperes. So the next we can have, this is this is how somewhat this kind of, this is more power consumption, and we can see here LPW, low power wireless network. So that is a more than 1 kilometer calls cover. So it is a more than 500 milliampere power. So it is a more distance and more power consumption will be there for the most of the technology, right? So here let me consider the outdoor radio frequency measure, that is between 1 kilometer, right? 1 point something more than 1 kilometer. So that will be how that again more power will be consumption. And we have the here, so one can consider cellular, no? Cellular technology which have more power and more than 1 kilometer going to be covered. So here Wi-Fi and mesh, no? So that is in the below 1 kilometer or above 1 kilometer, not more than 1 kilometer. So that will be we can say this is right 1 Mbps, 1 Mbps. So we have a bigger ellipse here. So that Wi-Fi, so how bigger one, that is more than 10 Mbps. So more than 10 Mbps and we have near 1 kilometer. In this view, amalgamating cost, range, power consumption and bandwidth for IoT access technology is a matter here. So amount of data to carry over a given period along with the correlated power consumption finds the wireless cell size and structure. So the wireless cell size and structure can be decide the amount of data carrying and what distance they are going to be carrying and power consumption. So all this will be matter for while considering the common last mile technology for transmission. Similar ranges also do not mean similar topology. So range, particular protocol have a range that may not so far suits for all the topologies, right? So topology varies even for wired, even for wireless, even for some this the range, cost of power, all these parameters whatever consider. So if a particular topology is mean for particular properties and may not so for others, so that definitely the topology going to be changes, that is. So some technology gives a flexible connectivity structure to extend the communication possibility, right? So it gives the flexibility. So that flexibility connectivity, what that we will see that. So flexibility connectivity structure, there is a point to point and point to multi-point topologies are there. So two topology they are going to be considered here. So point to point topology, this is this topology allow one point to communicate with another point, right? So this topology, it is a strictest sense in uncommon for IoT access. It would imply that a single object can communicate only with a single gateway. So however, several technology are referred to as a point to point when each object establishes an individual session with a gateway. So the point to point concept here often refer to a communication structure more than physical topology. It is a communication structure, not as a physical topology. So point to multi-point topology is permit to one point to communicate with more points, right? Obviously is a one to many kind of this. Most IoT technology where one or more gateways communicate with multiple smart objects are in this category. So are in this category, multiple objects going to be see here. So that is however, depending on the features available on each communicating mode, many subtypes need to be considered. So it depends upon the features available in the most of this technology. So those features we can borrow. So many subtype need to be also need to be taken into consideration. So from this, so flexible connectivity structure going to be impact or we are on the while selecting the last mile technology. So that comparison between this last mile technology, so are going to be helpful for IoT based applications. A particularity of IoT networks is that some nodes, sensors, support both the uh, data collection and forwarding functions, while some nodes, for example gateways, collect the smart object data, sometimes instruct the sensor to perform specific operations. So it collects the data gateway from the edge points or smart objects, and also instruct the smart object to perform pre-decided operations. Also interface with the other network to possibly other gateways. So it can interface with other gateways also, not only the particular gateway. That possible if somebody requesting the data through that other gateway, so that smart objects can send the data to them also. So for this region, some technology classifies the nodes based on the functions. So in order to cater this kind of facility, the smart objects can meet or contact with the many multiple gateways. In that sense, the categorization may be essential. So we can restrict some rules, to impose some rules to these smart objects, so that it can talk to somebody, it may not talk to somebody, right? So to form such a network, a device needs to connect with another device. So when both the device both the device fully implement the protocol stack functions, that can be form a peer-to-peer network. So however, in many cases, one of the device collects the data from other also. So example, temperature sensor fixed in a room, in each room. Consider a building which multiple rooms are there. So each room have a temperature sensor. So they may communicate with the central the server where the temperature displayed. So where the temperature are floating, displayed that. So from that room to that the point where the display happening of that particular data is going to be interact. So multiple room temperature sensors will talk to that the server where that data is going to be displayed. So that is actually going to be stressed here, right? So star and cluster topology. So the sensor can be implement a subset of protocol functions to execute a just specialized part. So perform just specialized part, so communication with the coordinator. So coordinator will be there. So a device called a reduce function is a coordinator, RFD. So reduced function RFD, and RFD may not be coordinator, is a subordinator, he is a assistance for the coordinator. So device is called reduce function device. Reduce function device is RFD, is a non-coordinator, is assistant to the coordinator. So RFD, that reduce function device, it cannot be implemented directly communication to another RFD. RFD cannot talk with RFD. The coordinator that implements the full network function called full function device. So full network function is a what is called that is a full function device. It is different from reduce function device. Full function device is a communicator, that is a coordinator, can communicate directly with another FFT or with more than one FFT, that is a coordinator. Coordinators speak with coordinators, right? So the assistants cannot speak with assistants. Assistants should speak with the via coordinator. So that RFD cannot speak with RFD. RFD can speak to RFD via FFT. So FFT can speak to FFT itself directly, also via RFD. So that privilege is given. So that is a cluster topology for discussing. So topology is where each FFT has a unique path to another FFT called cluster tree topologies. So FFTs in a cluster form a tree have RFD, so resulting in a cluster star topology. So it form a cluster. So here we have center one is a FFT, so all surroundings are the RFDs. So this RFD want to speak with this, that should speak directly, cannot directly, it should speak via FFT, right? But here we shown single OFD na FFD, so let me this example may not come here. Only the RFD can speak to RFD via FFT. So that is a principle behind that star concepts. So coming to here, multiple stars are joined here, so form a cluster. So the thicker one is a full function device, FFT, and lighter one is a RFD, reduced function device. So you can speak that FFT can speak to FFT, RFD cannot speak to RFD directly, so you have to speak via FFT. So that is, so point to multi-point technology allows a node to have more than one path to another node, formation of mesh technology topology. So redundancy means each node can communicate with a more than one node. So node can communicate with a multiple node. So that is a redundancy. So communication can be employed to directly exchange the information between the nodes or extend a range of communication link. So directly exchange the information is possible with the FFD. In this case, middle node act as a relay between two other nodes. That is an intermediator between two other nodes. So these two nodes would not be able to communicate successfully directly while respecting the constraints of a power and modulation dictated by the physical layer. Another property of the mesh network is redundancy, because one can speak with many, right? So that is redundancy. The vanishing of one node, that is a deleting of one node, does not necessarily interrupt the network communication. If any node goes down, and network will be survived, that highest fault tolerance concept. So vanishing any node is deleted does not necessarily interrupt the network communication nodes. And example you can take, for example, node A and D, two far apart nodes to communicate directly. So in that case, what will communication can be relayed through the B and R, B and C. B and C are the intermediate node between A and B. So node B be used as a primary relay. So however, the loss of node B does not prevent the communication between the nodes. So suppose A and D, between B is there. If B is deleted or went down, so in that sense A and D can have still communication. So that is here communication is rerouted through the another node called C. C is also intermediate node between A and D. So A and D, two intermediate nodes are B and C are there. So B for various reason B went down, and it can establish a connection via C also. So here the more elaborative pictures. So mesh topology, we have A and D. Between A and D, A and D want to speak here. That is what is that? We have RFD, na, or a reduced function device as there. So here C is a FFD. So you can establish the communication via RFD and also FFD, because since these both are FFD, no, that is a coordinator, so they can speak. But here RFD, that due to some reason it went down, so it can establish the relation communication via C, right? So that is a concept of star and cluster topology with the mesh topology. So gateway and backhaul sublayer collected the data from the smart objects at the edge position, may need to forward to central station where data is processed. So at this point, upon different locations from the smart objects, so data directly from uh, received from the sensor through an access technology needs to be forwarded to another medium and transport to the central station, that is a data center. So gateway is in a charge of this intermediate communication between the bottom and top layer. So DSRC case, that is a dedicated short range communication, entire sensor field is moving along with the gateway, but general principles of IoT network still remains. What that is. So range at which the DSRC can communicate is limited because short range. Similarly, all other IoT architecture, the choice of backhaul technology is depends on the communication distance and the amount of data need to be forward. So distance and the quantum of data going to be a prime factor here when you are backhaul of technology for any IoT architecture. When the smart objects operation controlled from the local site, when the environment is stable, is possible. So when the environment is disturbing or constraints are dynamic, in that case gateway will be controlled. So smart objects will be controlled from the local site in the very calm, and it will be well settled. For example, factory or oil and rig field, that is gas field, that is. So Ethernet can be used as a backhaul, that is can use the backbone for that. So mesh is a common topology to allow communication flexibility in this type of dynamic environment. So gateway and backhaul that properties are there. They follow technology and what range they follow and architecture specifications. So you can see Ethernet, that is a wide one, 100 meter maximum, and it is a cable per sensor groups will be adapted to static sensor position in the stable environment. Range is limited to link a very reliable. So Wi-Fi, that is a wireless 100 meter multi-point, it is up to 100 meter point to point. So few kilometers too. So can connect a multiple clients, typically fewer than 200 points. Its access points will be up to maximum 200. This is limited, adapted to case where the client power is not an issue. Continuous power or client battery recharge easily, large bandwidth available, but interference from the other system likely to be access points need a cables. So we have 0.11 AH, that is a Wi-Fi up to 1.5 kilometer. So it can convert a large number of clients. So that is up to 6,000 access points. So longer range than traditional Wi-Fi, power sufficient, limited to bandwidth, low adoption and cost may be an issue here. So that limited due to the limited bandwidth. So other property of this gateway and backhaul, the WiMAX is a 802.16 is a wireless several kilometer, last mile up to 50 kilometer. So can connect a large number of clients, huge bandwidth available, all license spectrums. So reduced to bandwidth in a license free spectrum. Interference with the system likely to adoption virus on location. So coming to this one more cellular, that LTE. So most of the today's GPS and GPRS is using, that is CSMA2 wireless several kilometers, can connect a large number of clients, larger bandwidth available. It is a license spectrum, also interference free license based, that is. So coming to this transport sub layer of the part of the layer 2 communication network layer. So it's also part of that. So distribution automation allow your meter to communicate with the neighboring meters. So meter can speak with the meter, other device in electrical disturbance grid. So with such a communication, consumption load balancing may be optimized. Load will be balanced. Example, so air condition pulse fresh air at regular intervals. So pulse fresh air in a regular intervals. With the distribution automation, neighbor AC starts pulse when your system passes. So in this way, the air in both the houses is kept fresh, but energy consumed from the network is stable instead of spikes. So that fluctuation, power fluctuation may not be there with the coordinated start and stop points. So here we can have that similarly your smart meter may communicate with your house appliances to evaluate their type and energy essence. So with this scheme, washing machine can be turned on in times of lower consumption from the other system. So such at night, power at the home theater system will never be deprived, always turning on when you need it. So once the system learns your consumption pattern, charging of your electric car can start and stop at intervals to achieve same overnight charge without creating power fluctuation in energy demand. So data may flow locally, or it may have to be stored by a central application to coordinate the power budget between the house. So orchestration of data by a central application with the coordination of the power budget between the houses is also taken care. So IoT network management sub-layer going to be, so this transport protocol or TCP UDP bring connectivity to IoT network. So top layer protocols need a care for data transmission between the smart objects and other system, that is a gateway. So multiple protocols have been geared here, heaped here to create a to solve IoT data communication problem. So some networks depends on the push model, so that is sensor reports a regular interval based on the local trigger. So depends on the push model. So whereas others rely on the pull model, that is application queries the sensor over the network. So query will be put to the sensor, so that will provide the network. So that push model is again converse of that sensor reports to regular interval to the higher side, that gateway. Here pull model, we have to be asked voluntarily that sensors will send the data query based. That multiple hybrid tricks also possible. So following that internet protocol logic, some of the IoT implementers are proclaiming that HTTP for the data transfer phase is also workable, but HTTP has a client server component. Sensor could use a client part to establish the connection to IoT center application, then data can be exchanged. So we have, that is you can find the HTTP in some IoT applications, but this protocol, PAT protocol, it is a PAT protocol, and hence it is a PAT. It is not designed to operate in a constraints environment. It is for fully information technology, non-constraints environment, so that could be a quite healthy environment for that. So since constraints environment, because this IoT system network obviously supports for constraints devices which have low power, low memory, low bandwidth, various constraints are there. In such case HTTP may be denied. So with low memory, low power, bandwidth, the high rate of packet failure. So in spite of all these limitations, the web derived protocol have been suggested for the IoT's applications. So one example, that WebSocket. So WebSocket is a part of the HTML version 5 specification, and also gives the simple bidirectional connection over a single connection. So some IoT solutions use the WebSocket to manage the connection between the smart objects and the external applications. So WebSocket is often mixed with other protocol such as MQTT, CoAP to handle the IoT specific part of the communication. So specific part of the communication also can be handled by the amalgamated protocols, that WebSocket and MQTT protocols can help us. So to respond the limits of the web-based protocols, so the different type of protocol created, that is called IETF, Constraints Restful Environment. Constraints Restful Environment, that is a core working group called CoAP, Constraints Oriented Application Protocol. Constraints Application Protocol. So constraint oriented or constraints application protocol implies similar as HTTP, which is a get, post, put, delete, no, HTTP property. The same thing will be going to be adopted here, but implement in a shorter list. So thus limiting the size of the header. So HTTP was the bigger header, now CoAP header is a smaller header. CoAP also runs on UDP because HTTP runs on UDP, no, that CoAP, whereas HTTP typically uses TCP, so CoAP also runs on UDP. So that is a transport layer protocol. CoAP also adds a feature that lacking in HTTP and very useful for IoT observation. So special properties, so that allow streaming of state changes as they occur, so without requiring a receiver to query for these changes. So receiver to query for these changes will be incorporated. So coming to layer 3, compared to we discussed enough about layer 2, that is a communication protocol, and most of the sub layer we discussed. So here layer 3 application and analytics going to be concentrate. So layer 3 of the simplified IoT architecture, that is a topmost layer, that is a cloud center, that is a data center. So here the analytics versus control applications need to be crucial part. Analytics applications, what those? It is collects the data from a smart objects, so process the data to a higher layer via gateway to data center, display the information which provide a meaningful information from the data that was processed and analyzed. So applications process the data to convey a view of network that cannot be get from solely looking at the information displayed by the single smart objects. So here we'll get the concrete data, that concrete and semantics, that is a meaningful data as the real world can understand, so rather than data from the single smart objects. Control applications, so that controls the behavior of the smart objects, so behavior of an object related to smart objects. So implies controlling complex aspects of an IoT network with a logic that cannot be programmed inside the single IoT objects. So that smart object cannot be controlled if we have any programming capability. So that's why we can prevent this programming capability, only that blindly it has to be collect the data and pass on to the next layer. So that is a controlling mechanism we need to be adopt. So layer 3, that control system architecture is a SCADA control, that is a supervisory control data acquisition protocol for electrical grid, was developed as a universal method to access the remote system and send instructions. So here example, SCADA is widely employed to control and monitor the remote terminal units. Remote terminal units, they have to be controlled. So on electrical distribution grid. So data versus network analytics. So data analytics at the topmost layer process the data collected by smart objects and mix with a provided intelligent view related to the IoT system, which helps to take a decision. So processing can be change complex and may join multiple changing values over the complex method. So analytics can also monitor the IoT system itself. So for example, machine or robot of a factory can report the data about its own movement. So its local information will be report to that master. So network analytics, so loss of connectivity may result in accident or degradation of the operation efficiency. So control module cannot modify local objects behavior anymore. So local objects behavior cannot be controlled, but that is actually essential. So our data analytics versus business benefits. So business benefits is also important here. So smarter architectural choice to be followed by for an open system. So the industry develops some systems are not open, they are closed, so for only specific particular applications. If the system have prototype model and open system, the network is engineered to be flexible enough that other sensor may added to in the future. So both the upstream downstream operations are to be allowed. So flexibility of for additional processing of the existing sensor and also deeper and more efficient interaction with the connected smart objects. See, modification or improvement of data processing can result in a new added value for businesses which are not envisaged at the time when the system is initially deployed. So initially they don't have provisions, so later on that would be adopted. So flexible analytics and control applications, example the Cisco Jasper, so which provides the turnkey cloud-based platform for IoT management and monetization. So this Cisco Jasper, consider the case of vending machines, chocolate vending machine, coffee vending machine, so that ATM cards, right, ATM machine, so that deployed through the city. So what will happen? So this vending machines can be connected, sensors can be deployed to report when vending machine is in error state. So the controller of this master of the owner of this vending machine can watch remotely and also observe the if any error happen to them, so he can understand remotely and make a the correction. Repair person can be sent to address the issue when such a state is identified. So this type of uh, this type of person, the alert is a time saver and avoids the need for time repair team to tour all machines in turn when only one damaged. So the several machines are there. If only one damage, they have to go around and rectify them by checking, by polling them one by one. So this can be remotely get a message, so you can attempt one, that is. So this alert system also avoid delay between the time and when machine goes into error state. So the time when repair the visit to the machine location. Static platform is this limited to this type of alert. So flexible platform like Cisco Jasper, a new application may be imagined and developed over time. So that Cisco Jasper will be remotely watched that for the flexible platform. So the machine sensor, example machine sensors can be improved to also report when an term is a item is sold. For example, ATM, the currency is going to be reduced or going to be empty. Then it tries an alarm to the owner of that ATM, so he can fill before that. So that kind of mechanism is possible. So that smart services can see that fundamentally smart services use IoT and aim for efficiency. Smart services. So aim for efficiency they are looking after. Used to be that is a major criteria. So sensor can be installed on equipment to understand ongoing conformance with the regulations and or safety requirement. In this junction, efficiency can take multiple forms. That is from presence of sensor in hazardous area or to weight threshold violation detectants on trucks. Right. Smart services also efficiency measure the efficiency of the machine by detecting the machine output. So that is also speed and other forms of usage evaluation. So entire operation can be averaged or optimized with the IoT is possible. So for example in hospitality, presence and motion sensor can evaluate the number of guests in a lobby, in a hall. So how many guests are there? So and redirect the personnel accordingly. So it can remotely send to the master who will host that hospitality. So based on the count he can increase that light intensity and service, so on that is. So that is a smart service. So same type of action can be taken in a store where consumer is detecting saying staying longer than the typical amount of time in front of the shelf by escaping the responsibilities or jobs, right? So they might hide themselves in the this one. Thus kind of also service can be provided by the that is under the smart category, smart service category. So this is IoT concept. So IoT can extend that. So with this we have can recap those concepts we studied so far in this session. Simplified architecture, IoT architecture under communication layer 2 communication network layer sub layer, that is layer 1 we discussed in previous session. So that majorly concern the data range versus throughput for home area network to LAN area, local area network. So last mile technology we have seen, that is Zigbee, BLE and 0.11ah and 11an. So the versus cost power, range versus cost bandwidth. So network topology we have seen the star topology with the mesh topology. Then we have seen that cluster topology. Then we have seen that reduce function device, that is a leaf, and fully function device, that is a root, right? FFD can talk with FFD talk with an RFD. So RFD cannot talk with RFD, that can possible via FFD. So that we have seen. So access network layer we have seen, gateway and backhaul sublayer, networks transport sublayer, and IoT network management sublayer. So this application layer 3 is a layer 3 for this simplified IoT architecture, that is application and analytical layer we have seen. There we have observed the analytics versus control applications and data versus network analytics and data analytics versus business benefits, we have seen that. So these material we grab from the books, that is textbook one called Haynes, Chalgurio, Grastete, Bartoon and Henry, IoT fundamentals, networking technology protocols and use cases for the Internet of Things. We have Cisco print for India. So that second book for fifth model, and reference books are that is there for to refer additional information. So Madsetti, Baga and that Internet of Things, and also Raj Kaval book is practical case studies are elaborated there. So with this, thank you for patient listening and shown an interest on simplified IoT architecture. So that is layer 2 and 3. Layer 1 we discussed in the previous session. In this session we have dedicated to layer 2 and 3. So thanks to coordinator, moderator and subject expert. Thank you one and all. Thanks.